this is the first time that you are ever tuning in, welcome. My name is Lauren Dragon Cook, and I am the founder of Wedding Boss Life. So yeah, welcome. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, especially if you are a new listener. I'm going to just get the comments pulled up here within the group because Ecamm is still broken. It's actually not Ecamm. I say that every single time. I have to set the record straight. It's actually not Ecamm. When Facebook rolled out a whole bunch of new stuff back in April, I believe, it totally messed up the comment function that it had. So yeah, so I'm just going to pull up the video. Perfect. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Erica. I did get some sun. When did I get sun? Oh, that's right. I got sun on Saturday when it was 97 degrees, and I got sun on Sunday when it was 99 degrees. Yeah, and it's 93 today. Have I ever mentioned that I'm supposed to live in Alaska? Like, that's my home, I think, for real. Like everyone in the middle of January will be like bundled up with parkas, and then here's Lauren walking with her North Face like Apex Bionic jacket that's like this thin. Yep, that's me. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning. Good morning, Patricia. Oh, you're in Cape Cod today? Jealous. It was 108 there in Virginia. Oh no. No. Nope. No. You can keep it, girl. Love you, mean it, but you can keep it. No, thank you. Oh, hell no. No. I so badly want to put the fan on right now that's right next to my desk, but I'm pretty sure you won't be able to hear a damn thing. So I am going to suck it up, buttercup, as my kids like to say to me, and I'm taking one for the team. So I love you guys. Okay, perfect. So thank you all that are tuning in for the live, and thank you for those of you that are going to be catching the replay. It means the world to me, honestly, that you guys choose to spend, even a half hour of your time with me every week. I feel like there's so many options out there and so many things that we always need to be doing or listening to or whatever. So it really does mean the world to me when you guys hop on here with me. So thank you for that. So two quick things before we get started that I want to be sure I make mention of. First and foremost, I am going to pull some cards for you guys after this live. It will be a separate live that I'll do right after this one because there is some crazy-ish happening right now as far as shifting and energies and all of that stuff. So if you are looking at me like, what is this chick talking about? No worries, we're not going to talk about it during this live. It will be afterwards. Because I think that some of you definitely need a little bit of guidance and support. So there's that. And then the second piece that I want to make mention of before I forget is I have to tell you what happened yesterday. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I'm going to be chatting more about that in the live that I will do right after this episode. Yeah, talk about manifestation. Like, wasn't that last week? Was that last week or the week before? Someone remind me. What, I don't even know what week we're in. I know we're July. That's all I know. That's all I know that's happening right now. Okay, so without further ado, I am here to chat with you guys about the struggle and the bliss of what it looks like to work from home, right? So if you are watching the live or the replay, I would love to know, please let me know in the comments if you work full-time from home, if you are balancing a full-time job and your side hustle, which is your passion, and if you do work from home, how many years have you been an entrepreneur, playing the game from home? I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments. I'd love to know the number of years you've been at this if you do work from home, if it's a goal that you want to, achieve and start working from home. I'd love to get a feel of who I'm kind of speaking with this morning. Yeah, so as you guys type that and leave it in the comments for me, a little bit about my stay from home journey. It's a good one. So I have been working from home now for almost a decade. Like, that makes me feel real friggin' old. But it's true. I have been working from home for almost a decade, since 2009. And it has been one hell of a wild ride, from being, engaged and working from home, to then being married, to then popping out children and trying to juggle that. It has been crazy. So, I've seen kind of oh, hello, Tidin, hello. I have seen the ebbs and flows of what it can look like when you work from home. So I'm just going to read these really quickly. Patricia works full-time from home, been doing her business from home for 4 years, just retired from a full-time corporate job in December, and now focus on your business full-time. Woo! Rock on! Rock on. Hey, Patricia White, how are you, darling? Tracy works full-time for herself from home for the last 2 years, and she worked a full-time day job from home as well for 2.5 years prior. So you've been at this for like 5 years. Holy mother. Yep. Erica, I've been part-time in my wedding business for about 3 years. Okay, so Erica, I would have to ask, like, do you want to, be taking your wedding business full-time and working from home? Like, is that a goal of yours? That's awesome. So, okay, awesome, trying to be full-time by next season. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to share with you a few little trinkets, I guess, I've picked up along the way that have really helped me in staying focused while working from home, and some elements that you really just need to give yourself grace with, right? As creatives, as entrepreneurs, we are our own boss. We are in charge of our business. We are in charge of our schedules. We are in charge of how much work we produce, all of that fun stuff. So I think that we all go into, the transition, if we do choose to work from home, we go into this transition where we think that we have to be hustling 24/7. Right? We have to be frickin' pumping out, like, go, 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 working into the wee hours of the, morning and whatever. Like, I can't tell you how many all-nighters I've pulled in the past, literally, and then, gotten up to take care of kids and work, the next day. And oftentimes it's like, holy shit, is this worth it? Like, is this worth it? I am working more hours working from home than I ever was working for someone else, right? And so for me, I had that aha moment, I don't know, how many years ago now? I think 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, because we're in, 2018? Yeah, it was around 2015. And that's actually when, like, things started to kind of change for me anyway. But, so 2015, I was like, this shit is for the birds. I need to change it. And this was before, like, yes, Pinterest was huge. Like, it was huge. It was great for brides. It was, all of these things. Ashley, hi, darling. I can't wait to hear how your wedding was. Okay, so, Pinterest was big. It was a big player. But this was also before a whole lot of the, not self-help, but you guys kind of know what I'm saying? Like the articles that come up, like how to work and, from home and be productive and like all of those things. This was before a lot of that had kind of, started to be published from bloggers and creative leaders and whatever. So it's not like I had this roadmap of how to work from home, right? So I'm going to try and give you what my roadmap looks like, okay? Now, you can take what you want from this. You can leave the rest. You don't have to take a damn thing. You know how this works with me, right? So what I would suggest is if something resonates with you that I'm saying as I get the goosebumps, if something resonates for you, then jot it down, okay? So without further ado, here we go. So one note that I wanted to point out before I did start giving you the tips and the tricks, there has to be a happy medium between fighting structure as a creative, because I don't know about you, but if someone tells me you have to work 9 to 5 and you can only have a 20-minute break and, yada, 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 I'm going to be like a big old F you, right? I want to be in charge of what it looks like for me to work from home. I want to be the one to create my own schedule. I do not need it to be dictated by anyone else. So there has to be a happy medium, though, between fighting structure and then on the other side of the spectrum, treating our business like a freaking full-on corporation, right? Like, we are not a corporation. Hey, Jen. So there has to be a happy medium. So this is what I have found that works for me. You have to do what feels best for you. Like I said, there's no set rule book for working from home. So you have to do what feels best for you. Is every single day going to be the same? I can almost guarantee you absolutely not. It just isn't. And I don't care. It just isn't. But what some things that have begun to really work for me, and I've noticed along the years, for me, I am not a morning person whatsoever. Like, I would much rather have client calls with somebody at 11 p.m. than I would at 8 a.m. It's just how I operate. But what I will say to that is I find that I'm most productive when I get up and I get going first thing in the morning. Now, I'm not saying I get up at 6 o'clock, because I'll be the first one to tell you that shit ain't happening. Nope. But instead of, feeling like a mama bear and like stirring from my slumber, I will just get up and I will get at it. One thing that kind of has helped me to do that is I know in the back of my head, okay, well, when the kids are gone, when the husband's gone, when everybody's gone, I can go back to bed if I want. I know I can. Do I ever? I would say maybe 10% of the time. Very rarely do I actually go back to bed, but it helps to get me up because I'm like, okay, I gotta get them ready. I gotta get them out the friggin' door so I can have some peace and quiet and sip my coffee, and then I have me time. Does it ever turn where I am actually back in bed? Very rarely. Okay, so get up and get going in the morning, even if you are not a morning person. All right, the second thing that has helped me immensely from working from home. Now, I'm going to put a little disclaimer with this one, okay? If you know me at all, I love me some Lululemon pants. I love my yoga pants. I love my comfies and all of that. However, I feel like I can take on the day, no matter what the frickin' day decides to throw at me, when I make myself feel good. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, get up, take a shower, get dressed, put some makeup on. You don't have to go all nine, to the nines, but put some makeup on. Make yourself feel good. If you are not a makeup person, I'm not a makeup person. I'll be the first one to freaking tell you. I just throw on some mascara, do my brows, call it a day. There we go. There we go. The other thing that I always do every single morning without fail is eat breakfast. I have to. Because if I try to take, my medication and stuff that I need to in the morning on an empty stomach, girl, that shit ain't gonna be pretty in the toilet coming back up. So, eat breakfast. Get yourself going. I have tried very hard to cut out the boxed anything. So whether that's cereal or, oatmeal, or doesn't matter. If it comes from a box, I try not to eat it anymore. But, eat stuff that fuels you, that it's going to get you ready for the day, Okay? So that's number 2. Number 3. This is huge. Okay? Schedule time throughout your day to move. I'm not kidding you. Break up your day. Give yourself breaks. So if you are like me, I will just work. Then my alarm will go off to go get my first kiddo from school. And I'm like, shit, I haven't even eaten today. This is not good. This ain't good. And so then what ends up happening for the rest of the day? I'm like, well, maybe, I don't know, I'll eat when I get home. Then I don't eat when I get home. And then I have a glass of wine, as I'm cooking dinner for everyone. And then I feel like I should be down for the count because I haven't eaten all day. I mean, some days that's okay, right? Like some days that's okay, but not every day. So, schedule time to get up out of your seat. If you have to set an alarm to eat lunch, set an alarm to eat lunch. During that time, throw a load of laundry into the washer. You shouldn't be basing your work day around what has to get done around the house. Okay? That's key. Because if you are looking at, your load of dirty laundry or the dishes in your sink, right now during the workday is not the time to be doing that stuff. Now, there are exceptions, and I will tell you the exceptions. Yesterday was a major exception for me. And because I recently just bought Unleash Your Inner Money Babe, and it's by Manifestation Babe. She's awesome. If you haven't ever read any of Catherine's stuff, she's fantastic. But I just started this, and so the very first exercise in this book was to clear out the clutter in your wallet. Clear out the clutter where you pay your bills. Clear out the clutter, where you store paperwork and stuff like that. And so I had to have, the excuse. I had to be given a reason to do that. I'm not kidding you. It took me almost 4 hours yesterday to clear through all of the paperwork that had, just created little piles all around my office and on the kitchen counter and, in my spare junk room and all everywhere. Everywhere. Oh my God. Anyway, long story short, I ended up throwing away an entire trash bag of papers. We're talking full. The thing was full. So anyway, and that a little bit more about that story, like I said, after this episode. Because the story of what happened after that is friggin' insane. But anyway, I digressed. So, if you are giving yourself the time, the space to clean up your office, that's okay. It's not necessarily doing the dishes. That's not necessarily doing the laundry, right? But if you feel like you have to get that stuff done, do it during one of your breaks. I mean, you're given breaks if you work a 9 to 5, I would hope, right? So do it during then if you need to feel accomplished. I'm going to pause and just read some of these comments for a hot second here. Ashley, yes, one of my boys asked me the other day, where are you going all dressy? Just here. Yeah, but see? Exactly. And I can't tell you how many times, Ashley, my boys have said the same thing to me, oh, Mom, you look so pretty. What'd you do different? Really? I put makeup on. Thanks. Love you, mean it. No, but they're 4 and 6. They don't know any better. That's fine. When their father says it, it's a different story, but whatever. I'm just reading some of these. So Tracy, I'm definitely a structure kind of person, and in the beginning I felt I always had to be at the desk working and work too many hours. Girl, preach. So this year, one of my goals was to incorporate exercise in. So now I actually do an 8 a.m. class to start the day. Woo! But I don't sit at my desk until 10 since I know I'll be working late. I sit in my office and barely do any household chores unless I need a break. Love that. Love that so much. Love, love, love. But that is exactly what I'm trying to, incorporate in my own schedule. That's what everyone needs to do, some sort of degree of, doing something for yourself, having your own terms. If you guys can hear the dogs barking, sorry, they're upstairs. Yeah, he's a peach. Anyway, and let me see, I bet you feel so much better. Yes, I have to clear my office every Sunday night so I can start the week fresh and organized. Yes. See, for me, I do that on Fridays. So I will clean up the chaos that has exploded on my desk, and that way it is done. Because for me, unless I am working a wedding, Saturdays and Sundays are strictly no work days. They are not work days. They are family days for me. Because there has to be some sort of balance, right? And that leads me into the next one. Setting boundaries, setting work hours for yourself. This was a very heated debate that I had with a group of individuals on the Rising Tide Society recently. And one of the business owners said, if I were to just not respond to, an email and just let it go, then they're going to hire somebody else. Okay. Well, do you really want them as a client anyway if they literally are just going to be picking the first person that responds to them? I don't know. I'm not here to say yes or no, but, you have to set boundaries for yourself. If you see an email come in from somebody, at 6 o'clock at night, and your office hours that you have stated from right out of the gate, from the beginning, they have to be set up front. But if people know that you are going to be out of the office starting at 5 p.m., you don't respond to that until the next day, right? You can use an app, Boomerang, I think is what it's called, for Gmail. Or if you use Dubsado, you can schedule out an email to go out again when you are in the office, when your office hours have started back up again. So you can respond to it at 6 p.m., but it doesn't need to be sent until, the next day at 8 a.m. or whenever your office hours are. It is when I was giving too much of myself, when I was just always on, that I was getting the most burnt out. And if you know me even a little bit, I'm a people pleaser. You know that. Like, that's just how I am. I want everybody to always be happy all the time. However, if it comes at the expense of my own health, my own sanity, my own well-being, then that becomes a problem. And so when I noticed that was happening, that's when I set up the boundaries. And I have to tell you guys, like, when you say, okay, I am, going to take every Tuesday off, I am never going to work a Tuesday. Those are going to be my personal days, like if you don't get a weekend. So Tuesdays would be the day that you go and you schedule your appointments. You go and, get your hair cut. You go and get that massage. You do whatever you need to do. You go and grocery shopping. Tuesdays would be your day. And so that way it's not going to, interfere with the rest of the stuff you have going on. Because if you notice, and this is true for me, if you ever notice, if I schedule an appointment, let's say, to go get my hair cut at 9:30 in the morning, okay, and then by the time I get back to my desk and I'm able to start working, I've got all of maybe 2-3 hours left before I have to either go pick up a child or, run here, run there, whatever. For me, that is not enough time to really dive into a project. For me, 2 to 3 hours is like maintenance, right? That's like the quick stuff, the responding to emails, the creating the graphics really quickly for the next, coffee chat episode or what have you. But it's not enough time for me to sit down and be like, okay, let me plan out my content strategy. That doesn't happen in 2 to 3 hours. I need to feel like I have enough time. I want to feel unconstrained, because when you put limitations on creativity, what ends up happening? Nothing, right? So for me, I have to have an entire day where it's like, okay, this is the day I'm going to schedule my ish, and then everything else can, fall into place. So one of the last things that I want to point out that has worked well for me is just having loose blocks of time. So what do I mean by that? Well, some people will call it, setting a priority list, or some people will say, have one to-do that you have to get done that day or whatever. For me, I don't like to put such rigid, what am I trying to say? Like boxing it in like that. Oh my God. Moto! Sorry. He needs to shut up before I kill him. He's so cute, though. I could never do that. So, I don't want it to be so rigid, because for me, again, I am a creative by nature. And so I would much rather know, okay, well, I'm going to give you the morning, Lauren, to get your stuff done. And whatever it is you need to actually get done today. But then the rest of the afternoon, after you eat lunch, the rest of the afternoon is for you. It's to work on whatever it is that, comes to you. Because I feel, too, a big thing that has come up for me lately, especially in dreams, sorry, here comes the woo-woo, is really just going more with the flow of where my creativity takes me, of where I feel inspired to, whatever area where I feel inspired to work. Because when you continue to try to just go and do, again, for those of you who are just tuning in with me, here you are, but that is masculine energy, okay? That is masculine energy at its finest. Feminine energy is creativity, okay? It's the nurturing, it's the listening, it's the all of that. So if you just go all the time, what ends up happening? You burn the F out. You do. And there's no creativity left. It's tough. It's really tough, but it's a balancing act, guys. And so, what I would suggest doing is trying it, maybe even just for a week, trying it for a week, and to see how it goes with, okay, yeah, I know I need to get this done, but I'm going to give myself the half of, today or tomorrow to do whatever it is that I feel inspired to do. I almost can guarantee you that you're going to be way more productive when you do have to work on the stuff that has to get done than if you had just kept going like the little engine that could, right? So I'm going to read some of these comments that just popped up. I totally agree with you. I need to really get in a groove before I'm completely productive. Totally, Casey. And that's one thing too, though. That's you listening to yourself, right? Like, I know if I wake up and I'm just in one of those moods for whatever reason, if I'm one of those moods, yeah, I'm not even going to try to be productive. Nope. I'll maybe do some like maintenance stuff that I need to in my business or whatever, but no, I'm going to give myself grace that day, because whenever I have ever tried to be productive on days that I know it's just not going to happen, what is always the end result for me, at least? I get zero accomplished. I get nothing accomplished anyway. So it's like, okay, just listen to yourself. When you are going to be productive or not. And sometimes you can't always give yourself that grace, but if there isn't something looming overhead, then yes, give yourself that grace. Be kind to yourself. Okay, so Patricia's saying, emails are my biggest challenge. Preach. I have access to Gmail on my phone, so I have constant access and check and often respond to emails the minute I get one. Just last week, I shut off my notifications on my phone so I at least don't hear every time I get an email. I also respond to emails at night. I really need to work on this. Yes. So, girlfriend, what I would suggest doing for your sanity right now, like after this episode, write it down. Go into your Gmail and create in your signature for yourself your office hours. Okay? write your office hours. So that way, anytime you respond to anybody now, your office hours will show up. So if they are, wondering why hasn't she responded yet, which I can almost guarantee you they're not going to do anyway, but if, heaven forbid, they do that, then they see when your office hours are, and they'll understand, like, yeah, you're not attached to your phone. You have to put that away. Otherwise, you are just going to get burnt out really, really quickly if you're not already, right? Yeah, that is something I struggled with in the beginning too. I always wanted to be a people pleaser. I wanted to make sure I got back to them as soon as possible. I gave them the best level of customer service, right? Like, I totally get it. But let me tell you, there is a lot of wiggle room when it comes to how quickly you respond to emails. There really is. As long as it's, my rule of thumb, as long as it's within 24 hours, that's perfect. That is perfect. And sometimes it's 48 hours for me, but, whatever. Give yourself grace. So let me see. I'm the same way, except I will continually check them even when I'm off, but I will determine whether it needs a response or I can wait until morning, even if it was an inquiry. Exactly. You can still check your emails. You can still go through your emails. I do that. I'll delete the ones that are spam or whatever, but then I'll leave the ones unread that I know I need to respond to, or I'll flag them. So that way, at least when I come back to my inbox in the morning, it's, I don't have 300 new emails. I only have 30. So for me, it kind of helps to alleviate some of the overwhelm when you're sitting back down at your desk. Erica, this is why wedding seasons are especially hard. I'm often burning the candle at both ends and have trouble moving forward, like with business and family, especially in the throes of events every weekend. Absolutely. And this is why, one major reason why, stocking up on blog posts or, writing when you are feeling that creativity spark happen or, anything like that, because oftentimes we are just solely focusing on the do, go, make it happen, type energy, the masculine energy. And so it's really hard to kind of switch gears. You can't really go from do, go, all the time to, all right, today I'm going to be creative. It's almost like you're going to have to just take some time to be, take some time to rest and whatnot. But yeah, I totally hear that. And there was one other element that I was going to chat about, and I don't remember for the life of me what it was. But if it comes to me, I'll let you know. So, guys, did those points resonate with you? Was there any aha moments for you? Was it just something that you just kind of needed to hear today? Sometimes that's all we need. We just need to know, like, what we've been thinking or what we've been doing or, the thoughts that may have crossed our mind are okay. I don't know how many times I say that during a day. I think it's a lot. But anyway, yeah, so let me know I'd love to hear. What is your favorite, what was your favorite tip or reminder or, whatever that you just heard? Oh, I remember what it was. Haha, I remember the last one. The last quick tip that I would highly recommend doing, and it has to go along with like lunch and snacks and all that fun stuff. Make sure that you bring water down with you to your office. But if you are like me and if you get like so entrenched in like what you're doing at the moment, bring down the whole friggin' Brita pitcher, honestly, and just sit it down on your desk. Make sure you put a lot of ice in this bad Larry, but just bring the whole water pitcher down. And then that way you don't have to keep going up and refilling your water, but also store snacks in your desk. So I always will have like raw cashews. I will always have, just stuff I can kind of nibble on. That way, if I am in the middle of something and I don't want to like break my concentration, then that way I can at least eat something, right? I don't have to have a full sit down lunch meal, but at least I can eat something, while I'm going at it. That was the final one. All right, so Patricia just needed to hear what I already knew and just haven't been practicing. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome. What was the title of that book you showed in the beginning? It's called Unleash Your Money Babe Mindset Manifestation, blah, blah. I'll leave the link to it, Tracy. That way you can find it. And because there's another workbook that kind of coincides with it. So I'll definitely leave the link. I'll grab it as soon as I hop off in between the next live I'm gonna do. Hey, Victoria. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're here. Yay, thank you for joining. Patricia, I always need to be reminded to structure things. I often get lost when working on a project, but that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. What I would recommend doing then in that case, because that's like me, I'm like, la, 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 but then I forget what I actually need to do, right? Is just kind of go into the day, and I have these fun little sticky notes that have my name on them. And I just write down 1 or 2 things that have to get done that day. Or the other thing that I do is I use an app, a program called Wunderlist, but it's Wunderlist. And I have a running to-do list of stuff I know I need to get done for the week. And then, whenever I get to it, great. And if I don't get to it that week, it's okay. So that way I can flip back and forth. Like I can go from my creative elements to then, okay, what do I actually need to get done today? Does that kind of make sense? Casey, oh yes, I got a good girl. That's awesome. Okay, so like I said, guys, I was on here hi, Lindsay, how are you? So like I said, I'm going to hop off of this live, and I'm going to hop right back on, and I'm going to pull the cards for you guys, and I'm also going to tell you about my manifestation story from yesterday. So if you don't care for the woo-woo, and if it's not something that you enjoy or want to hear about or whatever, then you're probably in the wrong group. I'll say that. But secondly, I'm going to cut you a break today, and I'm going to cut it up, okay? So if you'd like to tune in, just stay in the group. Give me like 3 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, bye, guys.